And everybody already has an occupation that's chosen. You have a salary with the income. Net income is after. So the income that you're using today is your net income. Okay, does everybody see the student instructions? Does that make sense as far as the different booths and going around to them? As you make those visits, the volunteers at the booths will help you to make the choices that will be written into your budget. So on the back page, looks just like this. There's a space on there for every single booth. Well, you'll get the sign off from the volunteer at the booth. They'll write their initials once you make a decision. So you'll have the option of having a one-room or two-room apartment, whether or not you're going to have a roommate. And there's some choices that you'll make that are critically important, life choices. Okay? As you make each one of those life choices, you'll write that down in your budget and subtract that from your income. If you have questions throughout the day, that's perfectly fine. We'll have credit counselors that are walking around and have tables in the middle of the room that you can go to, approach, and ask questions. Okay? There's group one. Raise your hand if you're in group one. It's on your name tag. You were assigned when you walked in. Raise your hand if you're in group one. So group one will actually be in this room first, and you'll experience the reality fair to begin with. Group two, raise your hand. That should be everybody else. Group two will actually be escorted down to the multi-purpose room for a little lunch and learn. You'll have sandwiches, some food. After about an hour, we'll switch so that those that were eating lunch will come into this room, and those that were experiencing the fair will go and eat lunch. Does anybody have any questions? Does that make sense? Can I get a yes if that does make sense? Yeah, thank you. So to quote a great prophet, cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar, dollar bill, y'all.
I think this is a really great thing that was put on here. I went through high school myself. I graduated not terribly long ago, 2003, not too long ago. And I wish that I had had a formal class that taught me the basics of saving, investing, good credit usage, how to do a budget, this and that. These are all things I had to find out on my own. And I think a lot of people have to find out how credit works the hard way. You know, you go into a bunch of credit card debt, you can't afford to pay it, and only then do you realize how to use credit responsibly.
They're going to learn a lot. They have access to a lot of resources. They're finding out the value of a dollar, and you know, they're finding out some of the challenges that lie ahead for them to be successful in life.
So once the kids go around and they visit all the booths and they create a budget based on their income and expenses, they come to us and we check the budget to make sure it's balanced and that it makes sense. And then we send them on their way. There's a raffle that they're involved in, and then once their budget makes sense, if it doesn't make sense, we send them back to get it fixed. And if it does make sense, we give them a raffle ticket, and then they can win a prize.
And what did you have to buy with the amount of money that you were appropriated with?
I had to buy a house, a car, clothes, food.
I had to get a house, a car, you know, how to get groceries, make sure I can manage my money the proper way.
Okay, good. And did you overspend? Did you have money left over?
Just enough, actually.
They are learning, and you can tell by some of their reactions as they come to the different tables and things like that.
I learned that in order to get a career like that, first you would have to go to college and get your degree, and you would have to save. Saving is important, and you will also have to be have a good credit score.
I learned how to manage my money, how to use my credit score to make sure I can buy different things.
I learned that all the things that I went through, like all the car dealership insurance and stuff, that can really happen in real life, and that took a big step in telling me what my life could be like.
They understand that, you know, their income and their expenses have to balance each month. And a number of them actually had a surplus each month, and I would ask them, so do you want to put this in savings? And they said yes, so they understand the value of having savings, you know, having a savings account so they can put money aside for a rainy day.
Well, they asked good questions. They came up with great ideas to fit it into their budget. I think it's a great, great fair.
Do you and your family or your friends, do you ever talk about expenses that you have or the right now that you have? Anything?
Not as much as we did today.
I would probably talk about buying games, maybe sneakers,
Okay.
things I need.
All right. So now you know what's ahead, right? Savings and college and then everything else after we did today.
Today I'm learning like skills for like financial, credit card, like how to read the fine print, but like go beyond what you see like on what they tell you and like really find the meaning and the understanding of like the financial length and where it goes and how much you have to understand it. My interest was like gaming and farming, and then I was figuring out like how you could live off like a salary of like a regular gaming for me. Yeah, I ended up like buying a car, buying a house, setting the house up, getting like 2 phones, 2 flash screens.
My hope is that they will start to understand why the entrepreneurial skills, the academic skills, the life skills, and the personal development skills we're teaching them in Build are important based on the, the reality check of what life is like with different income levels and what kind of profession they might actually be fulfilled by in the future.
So what I'm doing is helping students kind of figure out whether they need a part-time job and the choices that they have at their disposal. The 3 choices that we have been giving them is that they can be a server at a restaurant, which makes below minimum wage, which a lot of them have been really surprised about. The second one is a retail associate at TJX, which, getting minimum wage and working flexible hours, nights and weekends, and probably 25 to 30 hours a week. And the third option is a clerical assistant position, again, earning $8 an hour, so minimum wage, at about 20 hours per week. It's really interesting. The majority of the students have been asking for retail positions because of the flexibility of the hours, which makes sense. They can work nights and weekends. So I've been really helping them figure out how much more money a month that would give them to play with, and it's been helping actually a lot of them. One in particular her occupation was an actress, so she was taking home very little, and the extra, I think, $1,000 or so really kind of helped her with her budget.
We're helping the students to look at transportation as part of their budget and helping them to understand what it's going to cost them to get a car and car insurance and make a decision if that makes sense for them. We're also offering other options if they can take public transportation, if they can carpool or do other things. And we actually spoke to some of the students and talked them into car sharing.
We have a housing booth, so we have an opportunity for the students to choose different rental options. So they'll be able to take a look at a studio apartment, a 1-bedroom apartment, or a 2-bedroom apartment and maybe split the rent and budgeting for their monthly budgets. It's not always the smallest apartment will be the smallest rent, but for them to be able to make lots of decisions, should they choose to have a roommate or would they prefer to live by themselves? And making that decision on how much money they're earning every month, do they have the ability to afford the apartment that they really want?
Well, we're here today at the Reality Fair to help these students make informed decisions that will impact their financial futures in the areas of renter's insurance and life insurance. A few of them knew what it was. They weren't sure how affordable it would be to them. Some didn't know about the renter's policies either. A relatively low amount did know. After they left, they are informed. I had a few people say, I'm glad I came and talked to you. This is something that I may even need to discuss with my parents right now.
We're a nonprofit and we help people to get out of the cycle of bad financial decision making. We use the car as a catalyst for helping people to improve their credit scores. But we also help people with financial fitness classes, budget counseling, and we teach them how to spend their money wisely so that they can have financial freedom. And our goal is to get people's credit score up above 650.
MIFA has been joining forces with Ostagai University and Community Academy of Health Sciences, all 3 high schools in the Boston Public School system. We've actually gone into the high schools and worked with most of these students today to have them fill out a profile on Your Plan for College, which is a website that MIFA created for students across the state of Massachusetts for college and career planning. We've worked with each student to help them set up a Your Plan for College profile, research job occupations, salaries, as well as look at the education level that they might need for those educations, the student loan payments. They've done all that research on their own through the help of MIFA and Your Plan for College.
And I just want to thank Susan Chadwick for helping put this together. She was on the team and came to all the meetings and helped us to put this together so More Than Wheels could be represented today.
I would like to thank Matt Paradise, all of the Mass Credit Unions, ABCD, and all of our sponsors for helping to make this event possible.
I think a lot of them will take away, because I've actually asked a few, was there anything that surprised you? And I think some of them were surprised by just, the luxury items like cell phones, like if you want an iPhone, how much it's going to cost you each month, or getting a car, like how much that actually costs you. I think a lot of them didn't realize how expensive just eating was. When you actually have to pay for groceries, a lot of them were putting $125 a month. Realistically, when you factor in, grocery shopping and going out to eat, most people, even if you're a single person with no kids, you're going to spend over that. And I think a lot of kids, when I told that to them, I think they kind of understood that, wow, you really got to think about these things. When you're a grown-up and when you have, when you get into the workforce and you have income coming in, you got to plan for these things. That's I think what this message is all about. And in reality, you have to have a plan for your money.
Did everybody have a good time? Everybody learn a little something? Yeah. I hope that it was helpful. How about those coupons? Y'all like those coupons? Whoa, what? 2 left feet? Come on now. Welcome to a little taste of reality. So I hope that it really was fun. I hope that some of the lessons learned are carried with you. This is an experience where it's not just a one-time event or something to get out of school for the day, but really just a taste of life. We all have decisions to make every single day. We have to choose how much we'll pay for rent. We have to choose how much we'll spend for transportation, how much we'll spend for clothes, how much we spend for food. All those decisions every single day make the difference of whether or not we can keep a roof over our head, food's in our stomach, or not. So as these lessons that you've learned today carry with you through life, the hope is that you're able to make much wiser decisions so that you can reach those different goals, the dreams that you have in life. There are a few students that are going to share some of the lessons that they've learned even through the entire event.
I learned that even though we have the lowest credit scores, you got to make sure you keep the best way to save.
I learned a lot today, actually. I went around mostly to every section, got my food, had a nice house. Then I went to pay money on my charity and my car until I went to reality check. I should have had health insurance, so I lost my foot broke, so I lost all my money. And I wanted to cry, but now I know in real life, make sure I be on that.
I learned how to budget money, because I don't know how to. I would have wasted all my clothes.
This experience was cool. Coming in, I was like, it's gonna be kind of boring. But all in all, that little wheel over there messed me up. For real, man, I broke my leg and that put me in the negatives. I had everything going good until that wheel, man. But it's all good, but I had a good time. I hope everybody did too. Thank you.